All right, when we said we were really going to go in here and tear into everything, we weren't lying.
No, man. I mean, look what we have sitting up here, and look what it's going to replace back here.
Yeah.
Talking about a difference, right?
Yeah, you thought all this was where we were, ending up. That's just where we started. All this is going away, and this is replacing it. Now, you can see some of the differences on what we're doing, right? The old factory, big, clunky, stamped, formed, sort of cross-member front frame.
Subframe, that's all going away. But look at it, just a comparison, right? You have this nice box frame, box channel here compared to the stamp stuff you have here. Man, it's just so much better of a design, right? Right out of the gate.
Cleaner, lighter, and we're going to show you a lot of the upgrades along the way, but you can just get an idea of, right, this old stamped control arm. Here's the new top arm. It's going to be a whole different animal when we're finished. And you can see when you talk about the animal, look at the beast that's going on under this hood.
Right. Now, this was a 350 car. He actually put a stroker motor in this at one time, but it still didn't have enough horsepower, so he opted for the LS3. Now, understand, for you old school guys, you might think LS3 would be that 402 back from the early 70s. Nah, LS3, man. These things bark 430 horsepower, basically 430 foot-pounds of torque, 10.7 to 1 compression. Basically, you sneeze on them and make 550 horsepower.
I was going to say, because that's factory, you sneeze a little bit, and man, you're really making some power.
500.
Yeah, now,
550.
drill down over here. Let's start looking at some of the details here. This is a pretty awesome setup. Now, we got so many goodies to wrap this LS engine from Fatman Fabrications.
And again, this is their G-Tech suspension system for the first-gen Camaro. So it's going to work on 67 through 69 Camaros. And really, man, great, great. Just look at it. It's so nice, so clean, so detailed, so much better engineered than what that was from 1968.
Yeah, now you can use any of the standard engine combinations, but obviously we got just a little bit of a kit set up for the LS engine, has all your pan clearances, etc. And then, like we said, besides just the frame, let's start talking about some of the upgrades.
Yeah, man, big time suspension upgrades, right? Now let's talk some of these tubular control arms. Now we're gonna get this up here. Now, just the geometry of this is gonna make it handle, steer, perform so much better. And it actually, believe it or not, it gets the pan up a little bit higher. So, you know, it just makes driving street stuff just that much better and practical when you're out there, you know, especially in a first-gen Camaro, showing it off, having some fun, you know?
Yeah, now they've also thought a lot, you know, they've narrowed the track width up an inch on either side so you can get bigger tires in there,
Always
right?
a plus.
A lot of us pro touring guys pretty excited about that.
Exactly, man. And obviously, you know, when we get to hanging all kinds of these suspension components, so much better than that old school IFS stuff. We're gonna have coilovers on here, stuff that really lets you get out in this car, maybe whether it's track days, whether it's autocross stuff, or just banging around on the street, man. The rideability, drivability, durability is gonna be a lot better.
Yeah, so we're gonna get started putting the suspension together. We've already obviously got the engine hung in here. We can go ahead and dress this thing out quite a bit. Then we can raise the car up, pull the old one out, slide this one in, and all those goodies just gonna go all in almost in one shot.
It really is cool that we can do this and slide it up under there. I've been doing that a lot with my Chargers lately, just dropping the K-member, motor and transmission right out from underneath it. Such an easier way to go than, remember the old days where we'd have one of these and you'd pull the motor out of the hood and what a mess that was. This is gonna be a lot easier.
Yeah, we're gonna start on this lower control arm. We'll get this one mounted up, go to the spindle and sort of work our way up until we have something that looks kind of like a suspension.
Yeah.
Making some serious progress. You can see we've got the full setup over here. We've got our coilover in here from RideTech. That comes with the kit. Premium valving, so you're going to have superior ride and handling, which is cool. We got our steering arms bolted on to our upright, our knuckles, and we're ready for another major upgrade.
Yeah, we were kidding when we said upgrades, right? And updates. Now, this old 68 had that old gearbox, man, and if you know anything about those gearboxes, they get so sloppy. Worm gear in there wears out. They get really nasty, but we're updating with a rack and pinion. Now, real fast, I want to show you something else included in this Fatman kit, the rack and pinion, and they put this additional sleeve in here, the spacer in here, because if you can see, it's kind of offset, but again, it's included into the kit. Nothing to it, a couple bolts, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and what that's gonna do is ensure that our bump steer is right. So again, making sure all the geometry from premium handling, cornering, carving up the roads.
Heck yeah. All right, just finishing up our rack and pinion, which is gonna be great. We have our G-Tech tall spindle on here. It's actually gonna lower the ride of the car, the CG. That's gonna be nice, improved handling. And when we come back from the brakes, we're talking brakes. That's right, brake upgrades, gotta love that.
Now, as you can see, we made significant progress getting all this from here over to here.
Yeah, and really it's surprising because it's only 4 bolts, but getting to those 4 bolts, somewhat tricky, right?
You can see, so our frame, everything's attached to it, so it's one half here, the other half's the car. 4 body mounts, here's one, there's another one up here, same 2 on the other side. So literally this all can just slide right out, come back together. And then of course all the fenders and wiring and radiators and hoods and all that stuff.
Look at all the stuff we've done to it. The FatmanFab whole subframe in, that nasty little LS3,